Hello, a very good morning. Welcome to the Mega News 6 live and direct from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate, Nungwa Adogono. The news is live across our social media handles on MBN 360. The headlines.
Mahama approves evacuation of 300 Ghanaians from South Africa. In business, government expected to expand fuel price relief measures beyond May, Fitch rating. And on the international front, dozens of Nigerian fishermen fear death after Chad airstrikes on Boko Haram.
My name is El Samuels. The news in detail. Government has approved immediate evacuation of 300 Ghanaians from South Africa following a renewed wave of xenophobic attacks in the parts of the country.
Minister for Foreign Affairs Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa announced that President John Dramani Mahama had granted presidential approval for the evacuation exercise as part of efforts to protect affected Ghanaian nationals. According to the minister, the affected Ghanaians had earlier responded to an advisory issued by the Foreign Affairs Ministry and registered with Ghana's High Commission in Pretoria for assistance and possible evacuation. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has granted presidential approval for the immediate evacuation of 300 Ghanaians and South Africa, Ablakwa said in a Facebook post. These distressed Ghanaians had earlier complied with the Foreign Ministry advisory and registered with our High Commission in Pretoria to be rescued following the latest wave of xenophobic attacks, he added. Mr. Ablakwa reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring the safety and welfare of Ghanaians both at home and abroad. The government of Ghana shall continue to safeguard the welfare of all Ghanaians at home and abroad, he stated. The evacuation decision comes amid renewed concerns over xenophobic violence in South Africa, where foreign nationals and businesses owned by other African migrants, including Ghanaians, are periodically come under attack.
The Ghana Health Service, GHS, has intensified surveillance of the country's ports of entry following the confirmed cases of hantavirus linked to passengers aboard a cruise ship that's recently docked in Cape Verde.
The heightened alert comes after health authorities confirmed 5 cases of the virus among passengers on the vessel, with 3 deaths recorded so far. Although no case of hantavirus has been detected in Ghana, the Ghana Health Service says it is taking proactive measures to prevent any possible outbreak and ensure the early detection and management of suspected infections. Speaking to City News, the Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Nisiedu Bekoe, said emergency response mechanisms have already been activated nationwide as part of the country's preparedness strategy. We have activated our emergency system to make sure we are aware of it. Should there be any suspected cases, if possible, we will send samples to our lab. Currently, Nogochi is capable as far as KCCR is stated. Dr. Siedu Beko explained that designated treatment centers have also been identified and prepared to manage any potential cases should the need arise. In addition, he said public health education and risk communication efforts are being intensified to help the public understand preventive measures and reduce the risk of transmission. We also have a special centers that can manage cases. We are also trying to communicate with the population about what they need to do to prevent themselves from getting the infection, he added. The Ghana Health Service has urged the public to remain calm but vigilant, assuring that health authorities are closely monitoring developments while strengthening surveillance and response systems across the country.
The Criminal Investigations Department, CID, of the Ghana Police Service has raised concerns over what it described as the increasing cases of child sexual abuse in the country.
The concern was raised during a press briefing to provide updates on ongoing investigations and operational successes by the department. Addressing the media on Tuesday, May 12, the Director General of the CID Corp, Lydia Yakodonko, reminded the public that child sexual abuse remains a serious criminal offense and called for collective effort to protect children from abuse and exploitation. She disclosed that the Ghana Police Service will soon roll out a nationwide sensitization program to educate the public on child sexual abuse. It has come to the attention of the police administration that this type of crime is increasing because it is relatively easy to commit, difficult to detect, and financially rewarding. I want to caution the general public that the police are actively collaborating with international partners and all relevant stakeholders to combat this crime, which dehumanizes victims, negatively affects their self-esteem, and places their future in jeopardy, she said.
Crime is increasing because it is relatively easy to commit, difficult to detect, and financially rewarded. Sadly, in the current case under investigation, the offenders are close relatives of the victims, specifically an older brother and a mother, who ordinarily and under the law are responsible for the custody and care of the children. I want to caution the general public that the police is actively collaborating with the international partners and all relevant stakeholders to combat this crime, which dehumanizes victims, negatively affects their self-esteem, and places their future in jeopardy. I also wish to thank all stakeholders, particularly Abuse Relief Corps and the Australian Federal Police, not only for sharing intelligence, but also for traveling to Ghana to support investigations into the case.
Away from the corridors of the CID, we move straight to the business desk, where Fintech Rating has projected that government is likely to extend temporary fuel price relief measures introduced in April to protect consumers and businesses from rising petroleum costs triggered by tensions in the Middle East.
The projection comes after Fitch upgraded Ghana's long-term foreign currency issuer default rating to B from B, citing stronger fiscal performance and improved public financial management. The government introduced the intervention during the second pricing window of April 2026, absorbing about 2 per litre on diesel and 36 pesos on petrol prices for an initial 1-month period. The move was designed to ease pressure on transport operators, businesses, and households amid rising global crude oil prices and geopolitical uncertainty. Although the relief program is expected to end after the second pricing window of May, Fitch believes the measures could continue beyond the original timeline because the financial impact on the state remains relatively low. To cushion the pass-through of high international oil prices to domestic fuel prices, Ghana has lowered taxes and levies on hydrocarbon products for 1 month from mid-April 2026. We anticipate these measures will be extended, but estimates the fiscal cost is limited to less than 0.1% of GDP per month and can be absorbed by saving elsewhere, Fitch said. The rating agency also projected that Ghana will achieve its fiscal primary surplus target of 1.5% of GDP in both 2026 and 2027, following a record 2.9% surplus in 2025. According to Fitch, recent improvements in public financial management and helping reduce the risk of short-term fiscal slippage and strengthening confidence in the country's fiscal outlook. If extended, the fuel intervention is expected to provide continued relief for customers and businesses grappling with higher transportations and operational costs linked to volatility in global oil markets.
Away from the business that we head straight away to the West African zone, where dozens of Nigerian fishermen are feared dead after Chad's military launched airstrike on Boko Haram militants in the Lake Chad region, a local fisherman leader has told the BBC.
Abubakar Gamandi Osman, chairman of the Lake Chad Basin Fisheries Association of Nigeria, said several of the union's members were missing and estimated more than 40 had died. No bodies have yet been recovered, but Usman believes some fishermen were hit by the strikes, while others drowned after attempting to flee in overloaded boats. Authorities in Chad and Nigeria have not commented, but on Sunday, Chad's presidency said it had carried out retaliatory intensive airstrikes on Boko Haram strongholds. In a statement on Facebook, the presidency said it has responded to unjustified attacks by Boko Haram, which took place last Monday and Wednesday and targeted Chadian military bases near Lake Chad, reportedly killing at least 24 soldiers and 2 generals. The Lake Chad Basin is a huge region of waterways and swampland shared by Nigeria, Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. It has long been a stronghold for Boko Haram and its rival faction, Islamic State West Africa Province. After Boko Haram attacked Chadian forces, they retreated to the island they operate from. Fishermen also inhabit these islands, Osman told the BBC. After Chad's Air Force began cycling overhead on Friday, panic broke out, with both Boko Haram fighters and fishermen attempting to flee. The search for the missing fishermen have been slow, Usman said, as some parts of the Lake Chad are very deep. The local community also has limited access to canoes, as many are controlled by Boko Haram, Usman added. Boko Haram controls access to fishing grounds, transporting fishermen to and from the fish market to the fishing sites. Boko Haram collects taxes from these fishermen, he said. Recently, the region has seen a rise in attacks on security forces, as well as kidnapping and raids on communities. Chadian military operators have been accused of causing civilian deaths before. In October 2024, the Air Forces was said to have killed dozens of Nigerian fishermen during airstrikes targeting Boko Haram fighters on Tilma Island in Lake Chad. Nigeria's military has also been accused of claiming civilian lives during operations against armed groups and jihadist fighters.
And as I will wrap up this morning's Mega News, the 6 for more news, log on to our website, MBN360. But before we take leave of you, let's take a second look at the stories making headlines.
Mama approves evacuation of 300 Ghanaians from South Africa. In business, government expected to expand fuel price relief measures beyond May, Fitch rating. And on the international front, dozens of Nigerian fishermen fear death after Chad airstrikes on Boko Haram.
Thanks for staying with us. For more news, log on to MBN 360. The news was also live across our social media channels. Up next is the sports update. My name is Elson.